The night the power went out, the city forgot how to breathe. Fans stuttered into silence, televisions blinked off, and the streetlights surrendered one by one until darkness settled like a held breath. In a small apartment building, people stepped into corridors with candles and phone lights, murmuring complaints and jokes that didn't quite land. Amma was standing at the foot of the stairs, frustrated and tired, when her phone torch flickered and died. "Of course," she muttered. "Here," a voice said gently. A soft glow appeared beside her, warm and steady. The light came from a small battery lantern held by a man she had never seen before. He was tall, wearing a plain shirt, his smile easy but cautious, as if he didn't want to intrude. "Thank you," Amma said, surprised by how relieved she felt. "I'm Kofi," he added. "Third floor. I guess tonight we're all neighbors." They laughed, the sound echoing strangely in the dark stairwell. The generator outside coughed once and gave up, and somewhere a baby cried before being soothed. They sat on the stairs because there was nowhere else to go. The lantern between them cast soft shadows on the walls, turning the concrete into something intimate. Amma noticed how calm Kofi was, how he listened more than he spoke. Kofi noticed how her laughter came easily, even when she complained. Minutes stretched into hours. They talked about small things at first: work, music, how strange it was that darkness made people kinder. When the lantern dimmed, Kofi turned it off completely. "We can see well enough," he said. And they could. Amma realized she wasn't afraid. The darkness didn't press in. It felt like a blanket, hiding all the things people usually worried about. Without light, there was no pressure to impress, no distractions. Just voices, pauses, honesty. She told him about her fear of staying stuck in life. He told her about the dream he had almost given up on. They shared silences that felt full, not awkward. When dawn crept in, pale and shy, the power still hadn't returned. The hallway slowly revealed itself again, ordinary and worn. The magic should have faded, but it didn't. They stood up, blinking at the light. "So," Kofi said, scratching the back of his neck, "maybe we continue this conversation with electricity." Amma smiled. "Maybe we don't need it." They began meeting often after that. Sometimes during blackouts, sometimes not. Coffee shops, evening walks, shared meals eaten by candlelight even when the power was on. They learned each other's rhythms. The way one reached out when the other withdrew. The way laughter healed tired days. Months passed. One evening, during another sudden outage, they sat on Amma's balcony, watching the city disappear into darkness again. People complained below. Generators roared in the distance. Kofi didn't reach for a torch. Amma didn't turn on her phone light. They sat close, hands intertwined, faces barely visible but hearts unmistakably clear. "Do you ever miss the light?" Amma asked softly. Kofi shook his head. "Not since I met you." She leaned her head on his shoulder, understanding exactly what he meant. Love, she realized, wasn't about seeing everything clearly. It was about feeling seen, even in the dark. When the power finally returned hours later, the lights inside the apartment blinked on, bright and insistent. Neither of them noticed. They had learned something that night long ago on the stairs, something the city still hadn't figured out. They met during a power outage, and from that moment on, they never needed light again.